Hello everybody, welcome to Ascari at Home. My name is John Sinopoli. I'm the executive chef and co-owner of the Ascari Hospitality Group. Today we're super excited to bring to you a collaboration of our very own Gare de l'Est Brasserie with ADX winemakers from Niagara. We're featuring two beautiful springtime wines today. One is the When Pigs Fly Rosé 2020. The second for the main course is the 2017 Chardonnay Dam. We put together an incredible springtime fresh menu for you to pair with that. We're getting geared up for patio season. We're super excited. We're very familiar with these wines and this winemaker. We've been partnering with them for a long time. We're excited for you to bring it into your own home. Let's get into the kitchen, take a look at what's inside our box, and get started. Here we are with all the ingredients you're gonna need to put together your meal this evening. Like I said, we have a beautiful spring salad. Let's start there. So our spring salad centers around this Milford Reef cheese. It's a gorgeous sheep's milk cheese from Lighthall Vineyards in Prince Edward County. We've got three kinds of lettuce: a baby gem romaine, a miner's lettuce, that's this kind of red and green with blossoms on it, and then a wild watercress. So really the miner's lettuce is a very mild lettuce. The romaine's got a touch of bitterness, and the wild watercress, a little bit of spice. So three very different lettuces for contrast, both in flavor and in texture. These are gonna create a nest around our cheese. We're gonna dress them with a preserved lemon vinaigrette. We've got some dried black currants for a little sweetness, and we've got our toasted hazelnuts for crunch. That's your salad. It's gonna be beautiful, very simple. The main course is a gorgeous fish pot pie made with mussels and cod. Don't let the flying pig on the pie fool you. It's a fish pie. It's not a pig pie. So obviously our chef at Gare de l'Est Brasserie, Darren's done a great job of branding the pie for ADX Winery. We're super excited about that. This we're just gonna pop in the oven, cook it, make sure the pastry is nice and golden brown, crispy, and serve it alongside some haricots verts, some French green beans, tossed in butter with almonds. Very classic, very simple. That's your main course. And for dessert, we have a really luxurious, rich chocolate tureen. That's gonna be served with a cherry compote, some candied pecans, a little bit of shortbread cookie. It's just gonna be set on the plate and garnished. Again, everything put together super simply. We've taken care of doing all the work to get the flavor. So this salad with the rosé is gonna be perfect because this cheese, that acidity of the rosé is gonna cut the richness of the cheese. And the Dam Chardonnay is an amazing pairing with this pot pie because the richness, the buttery crust is gonna go really great with the toastiness in the wine. Let's get started cooking. We're ready to go. So the first course today obviously is our salad. So it centers around the Milford Reef sheep's milk cheese from Lighthall Vineyards, but we've given you a baby gem romaine lettuce. All we have to do is prepare this for the salad. So I'm just going to peel the outside leaves off. We're gonna use it all. And then you can cut your core as you peel, cut your core away a little bit. And then these leaves sometimes are a little big, so the outside ones we're going to cut down the middle. And the inside leaves here, we're just going to leave whole. So again, because we're making a nest, we don't want any of the leaves to be too big. So just like that. This is the most amount of prep you're gonna have to do for your dinner tonight. So we normally don't even like to have people take out their knives, but because this lettuce would turn brown if we did this for you, we thought it'd be best to keep it crispy and fresh and ready to go. So once these are all peeled apart and you've separated, I love the center yellow crunchy. I find it's the mildest part of the romaine. And these baby gems just have a beautiful, beautiful heart to them. So those go in there. And then the rest of the lettuce here, we're going to just pick apart into more bite-sized pieces. So you just pick the stem off the miners. They're kind of stemmy, but the stems are actually really good. The miner's lettuce stems taste a little bit citrusy, and they've got a nice crunch to them. And they add color and texture and a different variety of flavor. And again, these are foraged lettuces, not the baby romaine, obviously, that's cultivated, but these are foraged lettuces from Ontario, Southern Ontario. These are things we buy from a particular forager we've been working with for many years, and they bring us the best product. So we're happy to pass that along to you this evening as well. And once you've picked it all, you're going to dress it as lightly or as heavily as you prefer for a salad. Everyone kind of, I find, has their own ideal amount of dressing for lettuces. These are pretty tender greens. You don't need a ton of dressing. So I'm just gonna drizzle about half of this over to start and see where we are from there. I have a pair of tongs. You can use your hands. I just prefer to use a pair of tongs. Very gently toss. Don't damage or bruise the leaves. You wanna keep it super gentle. And I'm gonna add a little bit more dressing because I think it needs it for my taste. And once it's well coated and you've tossed it around nicely, you're gonna wanna now, we're gonna cut the cheese, we're gonna put it on the plate, and we're gonna finish the salad. So we're gonna set that to the side. We're gonna unwrap our cheese and cut it in half first. So when we cut it in half, we're gonna cut it in half across the middle. Okay, so there's our cheese. Like this, you don't wanna cut it in half like this. You wanna cut it in half across the middle and open it up. And then you've got two beautiful discs. These are going to go right into the middle of your plate or build the salad around that. Boom, just like that. And then we're gonna take the lettuces. I'm gonna use my hands now. And we're gonna arrange the lettuces around in a beautiful nest. You'll start with your romaine leaves because they're kind of bigger and firmer. And then you'll finish with your more delicate lettuces, the watercress and the miner's lettuce. Beautiful, look at that. Really gorgeous. And you want to keep some of your cheese in the middle showing. Then we're going to finish this by garnishing it around with our toasted hazelnuts and dried black currants. And hopefully you've reserved a little bit of your dressing to drizzle over the cheese a little bit. So we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of dried black currants around. I love the chewiness and flavor of dried black currants. I much prefer them to raisins. You'll probably never see raisins on my menu. All my cooks know this. They don't even suggest it. I really don't like them. But for some reason, currants I'm cool with. I like it. And then we've got our toasted hazelnuts. You may not need all of what we've given you, but you want to make it generous. You definitely want some toasted hazelnuts in every bite. And then we're going to add just a drizzle. You can use a spoon or you just pour it out of the dressing right on top of the cheese. I think that's the way to finish it. And there we have it. Here are two salads for the rosé. It's the Lighthall Vineyard Milford Reef sheep's milk cheese surrounded by cultivated and foraged lettuces with a preserved lemon vinaigrette, hazelnuts, and black currants. Enjoy. Okay, it's been just over 45 minutes since our pie's in the oven. We're gonna take a look. I'm gonna pull it out. Oh yeah, it's golden brown. It's super hot and it's a little bit bubbly. I can smell it. It really smells delicious. Now we want to let this rest for at least 5 minutes. We're going to just warm up our beans and get that ready while this is resting, okay? It's important that you let it rest because you don't want to cut into a pie like that has just come out of the oven. It's just going to fall all over the place, empty out. You really need to let it set and cool for a little bit. So let's turn on our burner. And we're going to pop in the butter that we've provided to you. This is unsalted butter, about a tablespoon or so. And then we're going to just rewarm the beans we provided to you in the butter, season them up, and toss them with some of these toasted almonds. Now, these beans have already been pre-blanched. They're cooked and ready to go perfectly, so you don't need to worry about boiling any water or anything like that. We're just gonna use the butter to warm them up, and we're going to toss our toasted almonds with the butter. I don't want to brown the butter because it's not the flavor profile I want for this. I just want a nice melty butter to give it some glossiness and a bit of a sauce, okay? So once this is starting to melt, we're gonna pop in our beans. And I'm gonna season these just a little bit. Now, if you're using salted butter at home, you probably don't wanna add any more salt. But we've provided regular butter. If you use the butter that we provide in the package, you'll definitely probably want a little bit of salt here. So I'm just gonna season this with a little bit of salt. Give them a toss. Turn my heat down. I don't want to fry it. I'm just giving it a little rewarm. Okay, and while these are warming in the pan, and now that our pot pie's rested for a few minutes, I'm gonna get our plates ready. And we're going to bring our pie over to our cutting board. And the way I like to do this, you could probably lift this right out because there's so much butter in the crust that'll come out, but I'm just gonna snip the corners of the foil and pull it apart so that I can release the pie from the foil tin very easily without breaking the crust and keeping it nice and intact. And then we're just gonna cut this pie in half. There we go, look at that, beautiful, beautiful. That's it, nice. We're gonna cut this pie in half and we're gonna plate it onto our plates. So make sure my beans are not getting too hot. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat off. My beans are looking good. I'm gonna toss in the almonds with the beans. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use a serrated knife to cut the pastry, but if you don't have a serrated knife, just be gentle when you're cutting it through, okay? So we're cutting into our pie now for the big reveal. Gonna see how this baby turned out. Oh, I can feel the steam coming out of it. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a lifter to make sure I keep it all in here. We're gonna slide this over to our plate. I'm gonna turn this one around to look the same, over to our plate. And we're going to now place our beans just right beside, super simple. Make sure we've got lots of almonds and butter on top of those beans because that's delicious, super delicious. Yeah, use a spoon. And there you have it. All the hard work was done by us. All you had to do was get it hot, pay attention to a couple details, and put it on the plate. There you have it. We've got our beautiful East Coast Atlantic cod and mussel pot pie with a side of buttered beans with toasted almonds. It's as simple as you get, a perfect pairing for that Chardonnay with the buttery crust. Enjoy this, guys, and we'll move on to our dessert next. Okay, it's time for your favorite part of the meal. It's dessert. So we've got for you this evening a beautiful chocolate terrine. It's all done. You have to take it out of the box, but I just want you to be careful. It's very tight inside the box. So the best way to do is just to snip down with a pair of scissors one side and undo the flap. Basically, you're gonna open up one side of the flap. Put a little snip there, just so you can do that. And that way, one more little snip. We can just throw our handy little offset lifter or a flat spatula right inside to lift it up. You want to do this right out of the fridge because you see I've got mine at room temperature and they are really, really soft. Okay. Just going to take it right out, put a little piece of parchment paper there to make everyone's life easier. Okay. Beautiful, soft, luscious chocolate terrine. We've paired this with a gorgeous cherry compote, which you're just going to drizzle right on top of both pieces. There's plenty of it, so you may not need all of it. You can save some for another use. And then we've got our candied pecans, which we're gonna place the same way. Again, okay, so the last thing we have to do is put our cookies on the plate. I'm just gonna give the edge a wipe. We've provided some shortbread cookies for you here. I think 2 per plate is plenty, but you've got some extra there. And that's all it is. A very simple chocolate terrine with cherry compote, candied pecans, and a shortbread cookie. Okay, there are the 3 courses. We just wanted to say a very big thank you to ADX Wineries in Niagara. We love doing these collaborations. They've been a great partner for us at Gardelès Brasserie over the years. We're excited to be pouring their wines on the patio for all of you very soon outdoors. And in the meantime though, thank you for participating in our virtual dinner. We hope you enjoy the evening. Can't wait to see you with Blair Bouchard, our wine director, on our live chat. Everybody, thanks again from me to you. It's lovely to be from us into your home. Have a great evening.